Oh dear, dearie, dearie, dear. I mean, welcome back to Dubsdeer. Seriously, we break down something's English dub, let you know how it all is. And, where do we even begin with this one?
You need to start at the beginning, obviously.
Oh, like a newborn fawn.
Okay. Exactly.
Yeah, so this, anime is definitely something, as you'll learn, but, you know, it's, they're into it. So, as you get our title, My Deer Friend Nokotan, or Shika Noko 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 Koshitan-tan, which roughly translates to Dear Child Brazen Waiting for a Chance, is a drug trip, manga, written and illustrated by Oshi Oshio, that is apparently her name, which began in 2019. It was originally in Kodansha's shonen magazine, Edge. Is that like Edgelord? Edge yes. The Wrestler? But yeah, it was discontinued in 2023, presumably done in by the Deer Armada. That's my theory. But was then moved to Kodansha's Pocket manga site. I only brought that up because, of course, something was shut down in a Dubsdeer.
It wouldn't be one without it.
But the topic of today's video is the anime by Studio Wit. That's right, they went from Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga Season 1, to this. Which aired in July of this year. I had streamed on both Amazon Prime and Crunchyroll. Oh, this deer's a hooker, isn't she? And yeah, even if you haven't seen this show, you've probably seen it memed into oblivion. It was all over a couple months ago. So, the plot. We follow high schooler Toriko Koshi, a student at Hino Minami High. She's the student council president. And you know, everything seems fine till one day she meets a transfer student who also happens to be a deer girl. Wasn't she stuck in power lines or some shit too?
Hanging from the power line.
Yeah, don't worry though, she's okay. But making things more outlandish for Koshi is that this deer knows about her past as a delinquent, something she wants to keep hidden. So in order to keep up her appearance as, you know, a normal girl, she ends up helping Nokotan in forming the Deer Club. A club that specializes in taking care of deer. I'm going to be saying deer 800 times in this video, aren't I?
Oh dear.
But yeah. Also, Koshi's the president of the Deer Club. Pile that on with non-stop insanity, like how Nokotan can break through walls with her antlers when trying to go through a damn door.
Oh yes, that is the problem.
Or how her antlers can turn into TNT. I could keep going. We'll get more into the insanity in a bit. But yeah, more importantly, everyone else seems to be okay with this, acting like it's normal. Oh, not to mention the other Deer Club members that end up joining are also completely insane. Can Koshi navigate high school as the only sane person left? And will her and Nokotan form a bond by the end of this series? Who knows?
Probably not.
And how about the narrator that constantly takes a sledgehammer to the fourth wall? What about him? What's his role in the... Okay, honestly, the narrator's just great. I just like putting that in there.
Yeah, it would be a problem if it was just him.
Yeah. The fourth wall doesn't exist in this anime. I'd say it doesn't sound that insane. We'll get to it. Just trust us, okay? But if we order that animation, it's wit, so I'm guessing it was good.
Yeah.
And a little out there at points. Or how during the end credits it shows deer in Nora Park. Is that a thing?
We didn't feel like animating this week, so we filmed some deer.
God, it's like the Discovery Channel. But yeah, so it's wit. I don't think they've animated anything bad. So we could put up this one webtoon by them, actually, or web animated thing by them. Yeah. The OST is mostly slice of life stuff. It's alright. Except you constantly get the OST saying Sheikah in different ways, which roughly translates to deer. Including my personal favorite, the one with the demonic voices that just go Sheikah. What the fuck?
It's the best part.
But the one I'm sure all of you have heard at some point is the opening. Shikaro Days. This is the main thing that people apparently took away from this. It goes well with everything. I've seen people mixing it with the Attack on Titan OP, the Aven Jellyfish OP. It'll get stuck in your fucking head forever. Hey, anyone out there a fan of Oshi Nokotan? What? Oshi Nokotan? Eh? Oh, the OP of the deer thing? I don't want to talk about it. But let's get to the thing that makes this the most interesting, and the reason I wanted to cover this in the first place. Yeah, shockers, the insanity wasn't the main reason. It was only part of the reason. The English dub. So the dub would actually be an Amazon Prime exclusive and not air on Crunchyroll.
Good job, Crunchyroll.
Yep.
You failed again.
And would be produced by Brazilian company, I am going to destroy this, Alcateia? Audiovisual, who worked on dubs for Love, Death, and Robots, and Portuguese dubs for a bunch of other shit. I don't know. I can't pronounce some of these names. But yeah, the dub was recorded remotely with voice actors all across the United States. You know, you had some in LA, some in Florida, Texas. Real Texas shit, It was also same day dubbed for all 12 episodes, not one was delayed.
Yeah. If only there was a company that claims they're about dubbing who failed to even do that.
Well, the ADR director would be Lynn Jardum. I probably fucked that up. With the script not being posted yet, so if it ever is, I'll put a pinned comment or something, I don't know. But let's get to the dubcast. So first we have Shika Noko, or Nokotan, as her nickname. Voiced by Trina Duhart. Or the YouTuber Rar Kitty Panda. Of course.
Surprised.
Her VTuber name was also Admiral Trina. But yeah, she was apparently Bulma from Moskowex's fan Dragon Ball project, Dragon Ball R&R, which you could still find videos of. Yeah, that was pulled down by him. That's a different story for another day, though. Point is you could still find videos of her Bulma, and I think it sounds fine. You know? It's not official Bulma, though. It
Better
sucks.
than the alternative.
Yeah. She was also Linny the Deer in Ice Shade, or East Shade, however you pronounce that, the indie game. She goes from being... What up?
Because of course it was a deer.
Of course. Yeah, this wasn't even the first she voiced. Yeah, she goes from being super cute and adorable to extremely serious when it calls for it. Like when Nokotan is a deer goddess. Or when she turns into a JoJo character.
I mean, that's when she's doing the deep voice.
Yep.
The JoJo character jawline.
Yeah. Deep voice like this! She actually said she tried imitating the Japanese voice actress, but as much as she could. But the scene when Nokotan broke through the door with her antlers, her first response is, how the hell am I supposed to imitate that? Same with the male JoJo voice. That one in particular was the hardest thing for her to do. And she loved doing the deer noises that Nokotan does. You know, the newt that she regularly does. Because she said they were super adorbs or something.
Yeah, she'll totally not continue to do it in the future accidentally.
That's going to be this chick's entire con life from now on. Apparently when recording this, she never heard the other dub voice actors. It was just her and the sub VAs that she had to play off of. So I'm sure that had to be fun. I actually agree with her, though, on... What up?
I mean, could you ask for an easier quote at a con?
Yeah. Hey, she thinks the whole remote dubbing thing is actually amazing, and I agree with her. It means we'll actually get people that are different than the same 4 people. And any number of voice actors could start. Her favorite episode, if anyone's curious, was specifically episode 6, which is an episode with 18 short episodes in one. Yeah, don't ask. As far as a moment that required her doing numerous retakes, there's a scene where she tells Koshi that her antlers can sense love letters, but then it turns out to just be a challenge for Koshi to a fight. This scene apparently made Trina laugh so many times that she had to keep doing retakes. But then again, I mean, what can her antlers do? You could even eat them. They can also even grow so long that they form a consciousness of their own. We'll come back to that. Don't worry.
They even have bananas inside them.
Well, yeah. If you couldn't tell, though, Trina loved voicing Nokotan, with how all over the place she was. She even commented saying she related to Nokotan because of how she's also a little airheaded at times and happy-go-lucky. Yeah, Nokotan is extremely airheaded. There's no getting around it.
So what you're saying is art imitating life.
But she's easily one of the best voice actors here, I feel. Also, am I the only one who thinks that when she does her deep voice, it sounds a little like Aaron Fitzgerald's Blackheart voice from Neptunia?
Maybe?
I don't know. There's going to be a couple of comparisons to other voice actors coming up, but either way, Nokotan's definitely a fun character. She is literally all over the place. You know, super cute Molly Deer girl and everything else. So I don't think any normal Vel would be able to do this correctly. But hey, she does. Anything else to say about the deer die before we move on? Other than you love the deer?
Stop
die
over the deer.
I hate you.
What?
Oh.
What did I do?
After her, we have Toriko Koshi, or Koshitan is her nickname. She's, you know, a former delinquent. By the way, apparently it was revealed she actually got inspired to be a delinquent by reading shonen manga. Yeah.
That checks out.
She's the obvious straight woman, who's always asking, what the hell is happening? While everyone else is getting okay with the insanity.
Because then it would just be nothing but drugs if you didn't have an audience surrogate.
Yeah, she is played by Rue Ryder, who's Kaya the Water Dragon, and the indie game Glide, the Dragon Prologue.
Really? That game was a dragon in it? I couldn't tell.
And something called Broats, which I wasn't able to find out who she played in that. I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Sounds like another indie game.
Well, she also does really fucking good. You want to make sure your 2 mains are probably the best Vuz you can get, and I think they did that. So, especially because Koshitan is another one who's all over the place. She has to pretend to be, you know, I'm a good girl student, blah, 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 to pissed off delinquent mode. Also, I don't think Rue Ryder sounds a lot like Amanda C. Miller, especially when Koshitan gets pissed.
You've said that the whole entire show.
Dude, she does! Just listen for it! I did think it was a little sad she actually said she had to tweet out telling people about where the dub was airing. Good job, Amazon. Clearly you're marketing this correctly.
They're learning from the best.
But yeah. Ruth said she loved voicing Koshitan because she could relate, asking what is happening right now anytime insanity happens. Yeah, I think that's how most people would feel. And yes, she confirmed most of Koshitan's reactions early on in the show were genuine. Because when you see that shit happening on screen, what is your first question going to be?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's perfectly normal. Just smile and nod.
Dear! She also said she tried sounding close to the Seiyu or Japanese voice actor, whatever you want to call it. But she knew she wouldn't sound 100% exactly the same, because she's not the same person. That'd be silly. So she just aimed for sounding similar. I think that's fair to do. But yeah, the way she sees it, Koshi has 3 modes, as she calls it. The super cute girly girl one, the what the fuck is happening voice, and the full-on delinquent voice. And she even said she got to voice 3 characters in one, technically, which is, you know, that's the dream. Right?
Yes.
You got to voice the typical schoolgirl idol-esque one, all the way to the shonen delinquent protagonist one, which she did say was particular.
All of them.
Yeah. That one was the hardest one for her to do, by the way, was the pissed off voice. Oh. Yeah. Her favorite episode, by the way, was also the 18 Shorts in One. Why does everyone love that episode so much?
Because it has so much variety.
I guess that's true. Not my personal favorite, but it is alright.
Yeah, we all know what your favorite was.
We're getting there. Also, she really enjoyed singing the Koshitan song. Yeah, this actually is dubbed singing. We'll
Suck it, Texas.
But it's a song where she has to sing to a deer about herself. Koshitan, yeah, former delinquent, etc. Yeah. She saw people's reactions to the dub online when this song came out. She's like, oh, great. People are saying it's cringe. They hate it. And then she thought to herself, she's like, wait a minute. The song is supposed to be cringe. Never mind. Which, I guess that's fair.
I mean, she was literally dying of embarrassment after singing.
Yeah. She's honestly, Rue's another MVP of the dub, easily. Her and Trina play great off each other, and you could tell Rue became a fan of this series, being as how she openly admits to catching up on the manga immediately after, even collecting it physically. I think she might be a fan, I don't know.
Really? You mean voicing in something like that can make you a fan?
Hey, she's not wrong, man, saying that you never know what's going to happen next, that it's the most unpredictable thing you could be a part of.
Yeah, if you try to pull something out of the hat will just bitch slap you, and then that's what happened.
Well, we got the normal person out of the way. Let's get to the insane characters. Yeah, you might say you did Nooked. No, you'll see. Koshitan's little sister, Anko. She's got a sister complex.
Another one.
Great.
Why
Lance
is
from
that
Masha
such
was
a
gender
trend?
swapped. Yeah, I think her and Lance from Masha would get along, except the fact that she's Lance on steroids. This chick is a fucking freak. Even making a wish at the New Deer Shrine, that Koshitan would do unspeakable things to her this year. Yeah.
And the yandere tendencies.
Yep. She's played by Sarah Ruth Thomas, who's Kaori Matsumoto from Captain Tsubasa 2018, and she's also a host on something called the No Sleep Podcast. So, I don't know, I've never heard of it, but if you're a fan, there you go.
I feel asleep.
Yeah. She would go on tweeting about how Anko has been such a treat for her to voice as her first main character, or role or whatever. And, yeah, I think she sounds really good. Pulling off the whole Syscon thing. She, since we're talking about the yandere shit, yeah, wants to kill Nokotan at first because she's jealous that Koshitan is giving her more attention.
Notice me.
She even sets a deer cracker bait trap to get Nokotan, who knows it's a trap, but of course asks, why does a deer eat crackers? Because they're there!
Yes.
Damn it, Nokotan, you're such an idiot. But yeah, they'd even end up competing in a game show with over Koshitan, where if Anko wins, Nokotan has to leave. But if Nokotan wins, then Anko must accept their relationship. It is worded that way, just like that, on purpose too.
Accidentally on purpose.
Yeah, and you get all sorts of things, like how Anko films Koshitan talking to her stuffed animals every night before sleeping. But you see, that it's a normal, it's a fair playing field, okay? Because Nokotan's antlers can pick up information from all the deer in the area about Koshi. So it's not an unfair game. Don't worry. I feel high just talking about this, man.
You're the one who wanted to put it down.
Oh, yeah. Hey, my favorite question was, what is Koshi wearing count as a bra? Because it's more of a bra top or whatever. And their narrator just goes, Schrodinger's bra.
Damn it.
But yeah. If you're wondering how the game ends, Nokotan would end up sacrificing herself to save Koshi because Anko ends up throwing a kunai. Don't ask. Just don't. Just roll with it. So Anko's like, I accept you.
They should already get it. I already said yandere.
Sarah's awesome in this role, though. So, got nothing else to add. Unless you do die.
I have no idea.
Oh. But hey, I can't be done with her yet. This is how I'd be pretty sad if I didn't mention how Sarah Ruth Thomas would actually contribute to an English cover of the opening. So, yeah, that was cool. Hearing the lyrics translated for the first time.
Another one of those out in the world.
Hey man, I just thought that was awesome. You could tell she clearly loved this with all that shit. But yeah. Next, we have the last Deer Club member, Bashime, who joins the club after Nokotan saved her from starvation by giving her a deer cracker. Because Bashime, who's a normal human by the way, but refers to herself as an apprentice deer who wants to become a true deer. She also likes rice. A lot.
Really? They were really subtle about it. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, her goal is she wants to plant rice paddies outside the club room. She also refers to herself in the third person. So, yeah. She's played by Bae Doxy, who's Ella from Villain Mutants, and in something called Neon Ignition, Ballad of a Memory Thief, a musical audio drama. What a title. If you want to comment on this,
they ran out of characters. They wanted to fit more, but couldn't.
Yeah. Her statement on this was stating, "The rice is out of the cooker. Damn it! I am privileged to voice Bashime and Nokotan." But yeah, she makes Koshitan take care of her too, because she's an apprentice deer, which is what prompts Anko to join the club, by the way, and say she's a deer too in order to get the same treatment. Why is everyone so fucking insane in this world? But yeah, she talks really slow. Di, do you like rice? Kind of reminds me of Henry from Black Clover, honestly, with the way she talks. What, just me?
Minus the rice fetish.
Minus the rice fetish. Yeah. Speaking of a rice thing, you get the narrator, remember, this is in Ep 3, you get the narrator saying, come back for episode 10. Is he lying? I don't know. No, he's actually telling the truth. This show playing that far in ahead. Dude, they're like fucking Eisen up in here. I also wasn't expecting Anko and Bashime to become somewhat friends by the end either. Yes, even something as insane as this has subtle character development. I don't even know what to say to that.
Yeah, some people need to learn from this.
But either way, I think she's okay as Bashime. Even if I think Bashime, is special in her own unique way. Let's just put it that way. Now that we've got the club out of the way, though, if you're wondering how a typical club exchange goes, well, let me break down a section from my favorite episode called The Game of Deer Life. Or The Wild Game of Life in Dub. Why'd they change that?
Yes.
But yeah, you see, they all play as deer. And the deer who holds the most deer crackers at the end wins. Such as Koshitan getting bullied by the older deer, so she loses all of her crackers. Or Nokotan breaks out of the zoo.
But she had no crackers.
Yeah, so she had to borrow...
So she had to take out a loan with a 50% interest rate.
Yeah, and she's like those older deer on the zoo's payroll, because you start off in a zoo. No, I love how Nokotan brags. She's like, I know the meta of this game. Yeah, that's doubling clearly with that term. She's like, she breaks out of the zoo, gets caught on power lines by her antlers. Yeah, they reference episode 1 there, even making a joke about it. And loses 1 turn. Also gets attacked by vultures and hyenas, so she loses all of her crackers. But,
also episode 1.
Yep.
Minus the hyenas, I think.
Yeah, I don't think the hyenas were there. Also, I love Anko's one, though. The deer you like was caught mating with another female. You're too depressed to leave your bed. Lose 1 turn. Yeah, the narrator's narrating all this, by the way. We'll get to him after this is done. It's great. As the game goes on, though, it steadily gets more and more insane. Everyone leaves the zoo. So Anko heads to the mountains, taking over and extorting all of the local deer out of their crackers for a protection racket.
That checks out.
Koshitan goes to the city to climb the career ladder, becoming an idol deer. But it was revealed she was a capybara pretending to be a deer, so she loses all of her assets. But the most insane one of all is Nokotan's, who says a new dawn is coming as she goes to Alaska across the sea. It would evolve from a deer into a moose, the strongest in the deer class. Am I the only one who thought of Invader Zim at this moment, by the way?
A room with a moose.
Actually, now that I think about it, a lot of this show's humor and the way it functions is like Invader Zim, isn't it? But yeah. That's when a bear shows up, which, Nokotan does an old woman voice here. Or I guess Trina does, because she gets into the role going on about this being fate. As she defeats the deer, bear. What the fuck even happens here? Do her and the bear become friends?
Yeah, she touches the bear with her antlers.
Yeah, she's like, I have saved Alaska. No, all of America. Becoming friends with the president, the citizens, and all of the animals. Getting 50 million deer crackers. So she wins the game. Also, Bashime was making mochi this whole time, so she wasn't even playing. Before nearly choking to death and dying because Bashime, I'm starting to think Bashime is just straight up retarded. But that's not the point. The point is, that's the type of shit you get in this show. I figured it summed it up perfectly, and it is amazing.
Yeah. And just like Invader Zim, it's probably best not to marathon it.
We'll get to that when we break down our ins and outs at the end. Because next is, speaking of the narrator who narrated everything for that game, he's here. And Rue Ryder would actually say that some of her favorite moments are when Koshi is arguing with the narrator. Because, who wouldn't want to argue with this guy? He will constantly say things like, stop bringing boring logic into this anime. Like, isn't this day over already yet? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, logic has no place here.
Yeah, he's played by Donald Guzzi? Guzzi? It's Guzzi.
Yes.
Who's Shinsuke Takasugi from Gintama, the TV series. Speaking of shows that could probably rival Nokotan at some points. And Ruby Lax from Wakfu. He said he was happy to work on such a project. I think we all would be. I'm going to be real with you. I would love to be in this show if I were a VA.
Especially being the narrator.
Yeah. And yeah, he's another one that I feel should be considered one of the best fuzz here. Which brings me to episode 6 as an example that I love of this guy. The one that, the two mains loved a lot. Was like, bringing you this program required an intense legal dispute with the Deer Protection Association. So today, in addition to our main episode, we're airing 18 mini-episodes in one. What a deal. This dude could be a car salesman, and I think my blind dumbass would probably buy one. What? He just sounds so happy. He could sell you anything. Am I wrong? Then I'd just be confused, like, I can't drive it. But yeah, he's fucking great.
But you can look at it, and that's the important part.
But I can't look at it!
Exactly.
That's off to you, Donald. You did fucking awesome. But we're not done yet, because now we've got the other student council members besides Koshitan. We have the vice president, Neko Yamada, who's, I'm not going to say she's best girl, she's best girl. Fight me. But yeah, she wants to disband the Deer Club and defeat Koshitan. And comes across as a tsundere most of the time. She's played by Megan Johnson, who's Tephalia from The Nameless Brave. And Marjorie? I can't pronounce that. From Dagon Leyline Chronicles 2. She shouts damn a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, insert your TMNT movie reference here. It's whenever she forgets something or it's something wrong. For example, like when she goes to the Deer Club in order to scout out Koshitan's weaknesses. And Nokotan calls her Shika Yamada, and she yells back, "Don't just turn me into a deer!" Because, Neko's a cat, and Shika means deer. But yeah, she convinces Neko to try becoming a deer, as her and Bashime are impressed at how fast Neko's antlers can grow. I don't even know what to say here.
It counts as growing if you just stick them on. Don't question it.
But hey, she had fun at the Deer Club, right? And when she leaves, she realizes that she forgot to scout out Koshitan's weaknesses, shouting "damn" on top of her lungs. Oh, great job. You could tell she had a lot of fun with this. Next, we have Tanuki, the next member of the student council, or occasionally called Tanuki. Yeah, they fuck up on her name a couple of times, but it's okay. It's all right. She's the emo of the group. Also the secretary.
I think you're understating it.
Yeah. She's played by Nicolette Kong, who's in Sim Settlements 2? I think that's a mod or some shit. I don't know.
That could be an expansion.
And she's also in Wonderland Animal 45 and Esther in Wonderland. But I think my
you roboted at the perfect.
Hey, you heard the Wonderland part.
Yeah, it was during the E.
Esther.
It's during Esther.
I think my favorite thing she said is just titled "The Homework's Revenge" or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm sure a lot of people would want revenge on homework.
But yeah, so Kinu, Tanuki, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, believes that if she gets one thing wrong, like just one paper wrong, that the underclassmen will lose all faith in the student council and it could start a full-scale war. Or when she and Koshitan get locked into the gym storage room, Tanuki says, we're gonna die because this is a rom-com cliche, and the two of us, me with the president, it could never happen, so this is the end for us. Because it can't become a full rom-com cliche, because they're not romantically involved. so no one would come and save them. Yeah, she even makes comments about jumping straight to seppuku at any point if one mistake is made.
Play some Sudoku.
Hey, Nicolette's clearly having fun. She would say it was an honor to also be a part of this. Noticing a theme here. I think people really like being part of this show. Now for the last student council member. Chiharu, who's the treasurer of the student council. Very composed, calm, and collected. Hard to read, as Koshitan would put it. The conversations usually go, "Hey, how are you today?" "Good." Okay. What are we talking about now?
True wordsmith.
But yeah, she's played by Abby Passion. Passion? P-A-S-I-O-N. I'm going to say Passion.
The studio?
Yeah. She plays Tabitha Bones in the indie visual novel This Magical Girl is a Bitch.
Okay.
That is really its name, and yes, I want to play it now after reading that. What? Do you not? She also voiced in commercials and did stage acting and shit, so. But yeah. Chiharu is always shows emotion whenever the Deer Club's involved, because she's a hardcore Nokotan fangirl. Even smiling profusely when Nokotan gives her grass. Which actually irritates the hell out of Koshi, who wants her juniors to look up to her and be happy around her too. But that's obviously not going to happen here. But yeah, I think she's solid as Chiharu, who even thinks to herself at the end of the day, like, I was giving the president a death glare. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to talk to Nokotan and was a little jealous that she got to hang out with her on a regular basis. Abby, too, would go on about how grateful she was to be a part of this project. So, you know, that. But now for her older brother, who's another recurring character, Yoshiharu. He runs a cafe and says perfect hospitality for all customers. That's his motto. I wonder how that'll go for him. It'll be fine, right, Dai?
Yeah, fine.
Well, he's played by Josh Portello, who's Sifo from Wakfu, and Nick Ryan in The Human Error. What the fuck is The Human Error? Some of this shit sounds like it could be really fun to look at later. This guy's freakouts are fucking amazing, by the way. Like, when inevitably happens, Nokotan is a guest. She breaks this poor man's mind, dude. Because she's like, hey, do you have an antler rest? It's like, an antler? Why would I have one? Deer crackers? I don't have deer crackers. Oh my god. How am I supposed to be hospital towards a deer? Or shouting, why isn't she reacting to anything on the menu? Yeah, he's fucking awesome in this role, man. I think he's one of the underrated Vuz here, possibly. I say underrated because...
That's how a normal person would probably...
Yeah, he fucking nails the reactions perfectly. Which, Josh would go on about how sad he was that the show had indeed ended. I agree. Give us more, damn it. I want more insanity.
Or that he was only in like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, I think it was like 3. But hey, don't worry, that's not the only recurring character he voices. He also voices Sonoda, who's a deer that keeps escaping from the zoo and coming to the deer club and the school and all that. He just makes deer noises.
He's the one that makes the Sonoda noises?
Yep, that's him. He's the one that goes, no, and that's all he does.
Damn it.
The robot please tell me yes. But yeah, Koshita thinks that he's actually Nokotan in disguise, so she tries pulling off the costume, which causes him to get super pissed. I'd be a pissed off deer too. He also keeps eating her plants, which you find out she named all of them. I guess Koshi is a little weird at times too. But either way, Jaws did good. I think he did good work. That's all the major recurring characters, with the exception of Misukai, the teacher, but the voice actor has not been posted at this time, and that could be because her mic is complete trash. Yeah. Her mic's worse than mine. Okay, maybe I want to go that far, but it is pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, it'd be pretty awkward if someone saw like Megatron in the middle of a take.
That would be fucking... Would that sound out of place in this show? Yeah, her mic...
It would sound even more awkward if you already had a filter over your voice.
But yeah, her mic is... we're not exaggerating. It's pretty bad. It does get slightly better as the show goes on. It's at its worst in Ep 1. But... yeah.
At best, it ends up sounding okay.
Yeah, it's the worst one here. As far as ad voices, there's several that were recycled. Voice actress named Shakira Dunn, who was apparently Fox in something called The Ace of Hearts, played several people. There's also someone named Meggie Elise, who did a bunch of ad voices, which I found out she has a YouTube channel where she has clips of which character she voiced. Also, it seems that she does a lot of Sonic comic fan dubs or something. I just quickly skimmed through to see what she did. Oh, yeah, that's
whatever you say, Scourge.
How dare you? And the last recurring character is Soichiro, a deer hunter, but his voice actor hasn't been posted. He also has a southern accent for some reason. But we'll get back to him in a minute. So, dub fuck-ups. Before we get to the script, there's actually a couple. I already brought up the Tanuki, sometimes you call Tanuki thing. There's actually a couple of lines, specifically only in Ep 10, where Anko's mic sounds off and cuts out for a second. Also, she says that she wants to make sure Nokotan is exterminated instead of exterminated. And for some reason, she pronounces manga as manga, though that's probably a directing thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something, I'm sorry.
I mean, these are less egregious since it's same day.
Oh, I agree.
Cleaned up for a Blu-ray.
Yep.
Set, obviously.
There's a couple of others, too, like Koshi saying, hey, fever, instead of fever. I'm going to call it a fever from now on. Dude, I got the fever. The fever, man. Do you have a fever? Although the one I showed Di right before we got on here was a commentator's mic during an event fucks up where he says, I'm excited, but his mic goes, I'm excited. It skips like a scratch CD. It really does.
Yeah, that's definitely an engineer thing.
But, hey, I would actually take all these fuck-ups and have the dubs still, for the most part, sound solid across the board.
Yeah. Because when you have fuck-ups and you're while also constantly being delayed, then there's no excuse for them.
Yeah, or when you don't have any fuck-ups and you have a garbage tier dub that ruins an entire show, looking at you, summertime rendering. I didn't forget. Yeah, I'd say that's a little worse. So I think I'd take, like, a handful of fuck-ups every now and again across a 12-episode show than the dub sounding like trash. That's just me personally, though.
Yeah, and like I've been saying, they're more forgivable fuck-ups since it was literally consistently same date with no delays.
With voice actors all across the United States and a lesser-known studio.
Yeah. Outside of the delay, which was just the show itself being delayed by a week.
Well, that was primarily because it switched schedules from Sunday to Wednesday halfway through its airing. I didn't even bring that up. I thought that was bizarre. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the script, I guess. There's a lot to talk about here. So, I brought up the hunter Soichiro a second ago, because he's hunting down Nokotan on Deer Day. Also, he has Terminator vision. 2 Wit Studio animes in the same season with Terminator references. Is that a coincidence?
Yes, like that's the only reference.
Well, yeah. Anyway, he actually tries interacting with 2 girls about asking where Nokotan is, or Garu, as the narrator says. And yeah, they say things like, OMG, etc. These terms. This is easily overlooked, though, I think. Or when Anko first shows up with a kunai, and Koshitan asks, are you a ninja? Are you Koga, Iga, or Hokage? There's also a line change when Koshitan, they talk about how she's never been on a subway line before in the dub. In the sub, apparently they actually say real Japanese line. You know, small changes like that.
Oh, you mean minor changes? That makes sense.
Yeah, it's nothing that major, I think. There's also the scene where Nokotan's antlers grow consciousness and fall off and form a ball-like creature that's alive. That's named Tsuchinoko, causing one of the characters to say, so is this like Tsuchinoko Noko Noko Koshitan Tan? I really wonder how one of the other studios would have handled that. I really do. Oh, if you're wondering the fate of Tsuchinoko, they have to share custody.
They would have inserted some cringe reference.
Probably. The fate of Tsuchinoko, they have to share custody of him between the Deer Club and the Student Council. Is he a baby?
Yes. I don't think it's really shared custody when it's on Neko 90% of the time.
Yeah, Neko forms a fondness for him, the creature. Or a time where Nokotan is arranging antlers for the Flower Arrangement Club. Just roll with it. And she names her creation Antler and Deer, prompting the narrator to say, named after a song by Kenshi Yanetsu. The song in question, by the way, is called Horse and Deer, which I am disappointed that I did not look it up and see how the song sounds before getting on here.
Probably about what you're thinking.
But yeah, I don't think they would keep that line in if it were a sound cadence or something. Could be wrong, though. Rue Rider would confirm that there was very little improv and that they kept the localization pretty much mostly unchanged outside of making it sound grammatical.
Outside of a word here or there, which like the game of Deer Life is probably just changed for flip-flops or something.
Yeah, it's possible. Oh yeah, they've got terms like Deericane, which... Yeah. Fuck you, Florida. I'm sick of your Deericane bullshit. Get it away from me. They call it MyTube instead of YouTube. Which I think that's one of the more basic words.
I mean, yeah, that's literally what it said on the monitor, so they couldn't do anything about that one, no matter who was doing it.
Yeah. Or at the Deer Shrine, one of the shrine maidens or priestess goes, "Glory, glory to the Deer Goddess" in the dub, but in the sub you said it's "Eeny, meeny, miny, doe."
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think the dub one makes more sense here, honestly speaking.
They were doing it for the pun factor.
Oh, I'm sure. But honestly, my favorite dub line change is there's a group of secret deer assassins known as the Deer Den in sub, and the dub they changed to the Deer Hole. But you see, they're not called assassins in the dub. In the sub they are. In the dub they're called murderers. I fucking love that. It's so stupid. Like, I don't even know what to say, man. It's fucking brilliant. Murderers. Whoever came up with that, give yourself a pat on the back. That was great. That's can't really get much more to the script without going into the finale and why I think the localization was the way it was. And I guess spoiler warning for that when we get there, but I don't know how much you could really spoil with this show. It's insanity incarnate.
You'll forget about it after you watch this anyways.
Well, we also brought up the dub singing earlier. But what's strange about it is Koshitan's singing is dubbed in Ep 3, yet in Ep 4 Nokotan's singing isn't dubbed. But yet the singing is dubbed again in the finale. So I guess I'll take the majority of the singing.
At least it exists.
Yeah. Regardless, the majority of the singing is dubbed in a same-day dub, yet Crunchyroll and Sentai can barely dub singing, period.
They can't even be bothered to do it on box sets.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's possible. Like, I get if it's a licensed song. Maybe that's why Nokotan's song wasn't dubbed. Probably not Pretty sure it was,
I mean, if
she was singing about
I-
Nokotan things like deer. But yeah, we could keep going before getting to the finale. Bringing up some of my favorite moments, like how the school festival has a bomb disarming challenge, but the bombs are deer antlers. And when Koshitan is asking, like, what the fuck, Nokotan acts like this is a war, as you hear antlers exploding in the background and people screaming in agony. Like, what the fuck? Or the game Tug an Antler, where Nokotan won because everyone else just tugged her antler. I don't even know what to say.
There's nothing to say.
But I think you'll get the point. The show is just madness. It's madness in the best way. As I said, would not recommend marathoning it. So I'd say pace yourself. Maybe 2 or 3 eps at a time if you want to watch it. That'd be my best thing, so you don't get burnt out on it.
Unless you're looking to do a lot of drugs on the same day.
Yeah.
More potent than Ellis.
But we're gonna break down the finale, so if you don't want to know how that's spoiled, because it is one of the best episodes in the fucking show. You know, if you want to check the show out for yourself, I'd say go for it. Why not? And yeah, if you want to hear our final thoughts, just jump to a timestamp. I'm going to put fucking timestamps in the chapter thing. Yeah, that's it. All right, are you ready to go into this?
Maybe.
Okay, so the final episode starts with everyone forgetting Nokotan's existence, except the narrator reveals that it's trivialities. So that doesn't matter. It's dropped immediately. As the
because that's how they ended the last episode.
Yep. As the murderers from the deer hole are after Nokotan for running away. But you see they found her location by watching the anime's broadcast. As it's revealed that the deer den, or pulp, I'm going to keep fucking that up, is a group of real Japanese mascots like Chikamaru and Hana-chan. Which I think Hana-chan, from what I quickly gleaned, is a mascot for a funeral organization or something. But yeah. Or Gyo-chan, as this is probably the main reason why the localization could not have been changed. I really think they would have been fucked here if they actually did try Americanizing the shit out of this. But in order for Nokotan to... What up?
And it would have been hilariously bad.
Oh, it would have. Yeah, Nokotan has to have a face-off with all of them. Like having a dance-off with Gyo-chan. And if she loses, she has to go back to the deer hole. Which, anytime she loses, did you say deers in suits show up to abduct her?
They shove her in a cage. Except I'm pretty sure those are just rubber deer masks.
Oh yeah, I just love the reveal that it means Nokotan was being trained to be a real-life mascot. It's like, could you imagine? Maybe she is. Maybe she's playing 40 chess with all of us. But yeah, whenever she is about to get abducted, someone else interferes to help her out. Like Koshi, because she doesn't want the Deer Club to be disbanded. Because then she'd lose all funding for it, etc. Because without the deer, the club wouldn't have any funding. Because how can you have a club without a deer, right, Dai?
Yes.
Or when Neko shows up, because even though she wants the Deer Club to be disbanded, it's the finale, so she just doesn't want that now.
She just wants screen time.
Yeah, that's basically what the narrator said. But in the end, Nokotan's final opponent is Sento-kun, the ultimate mascot. Which, yeah, she's got to train and be ready for this. And they do a dubbed parody of Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
A wild deer lives within you. What the fuck? Anyway, it breaks out to the ultimate fight with Yoshiharu as the referee. This poor dude, man. And he was like, wait, why am I here? Because it's the final episode. Everyone here. Or it has to be here. Yeah.
All hands on deck.
Yep. Sento-kun ends up dominating the match, but eventually Nokotan starts doing anything she can. Does it say like bribery failed?
Yep. Round 3 bribe failed.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, she would then start throwing antler bombs everywhere. And poor Yoshi over there, it's like, wait, what? Ah! It exploded. I think she killed him.
No. It's just comedic flying into this air.
I should mention that Trina's mad ramblings as Nokotan here are fucking amazing and probably some of the best stuff to work at the show. She keeps shouting, da 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 deer, da 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 deer. As the commentators are even like, she threw away her identity as a schoolgirl and is just a deer. Who the fuck it is they say, man. This is just sanity. But it's not enough. Nokotan ends up losing. But at the end, instead of interviewing the winner, they decide to interview the loser. And that's when Nokotan says, I tried my best. And because we all tried, doesn't that mean we're all winners? So I didn't lose because no one lost. As the expert of mascots, John Miura, which I tried looking up if that was a real person, I didn't get far. So,
which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be the narrator as an actual character.
Yeah. I wasn't able.
Voiced by the narrator.
Yeah. It's like, I'm moved. Yes, we're all winners. So the Deer Club gets to stay together, and Nokotan gets to stay. Happy ending.
Gaslighting wins again.
Yep. Speaking of which, yeah, Chikamaru, one of the other mascots, was voiced by Neko's VA as well. So they did double cast a little bit here. But I think it's, again, acceptable with how it's... You might not notice it right away, and also it's same-day dub.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Was this episode primarily an advert for Japanese mascots? Yes. But was it funny as hell at the same time?
Yeah.
Also, yes. Fucking brilliant. But I'm glad the localization was the way it was, because I don't think it could have worked with with how deeply entrenched in Weepanese culture this episode is. And
it just works.
Let's be real, we cannot stress enough how sound cadence or what a story Marky over there would have probably raped this localization in this show. So I'd like to segue into our final thoughts, but real quick, we might as briefly go over the controversies with this show, because it's really stupid. So, first, Nokotan uses AI subtitles, allegedly. I think primarily for the French subs or some shit? I don't know. My whole thought was, and? Yeah, I said it. As long as they're good, who the fuck cares? A lot of localizers are dicks. Sure, not all of them, but more often than not, it seems to be the case this time. So... But you all probably want us to talk...
Wasn't that mostly also a crunchy controversy, too?
I think so. Again, I briefly looked into that, but this is Dubsdeer Dive, not Subster Dive, so...
Yeah, but unlike them, we're not going to disable our comments.
Oh! Let's see. How about this dumb one? Nokotan is trans because only male deer have antlers. Yeah, I have a retort. More of a quote, really, from, or a question, from a famous historical anime character. Dutch from Black Lagoon, as he so eloquently put, "Are you retarded?"
I think it would be better to say, how retarded are you?
I guess that means Yanfei from Genshin is also a trans.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. So I think you all know our stance on that shit. And then this wasn't really a controversy, just something I felt like bringing up, and I didn't know when the time would be to. Anime Matsuri, or AM Studios, the one that Vic works for now, promised to debut this anime at their convention August 8th, being like, it's the North America debut. It's like, that makes no sense. It aired a month earlier on streaming services and everything. I'm fucking confused.
Does that mean they have the distribution rights?
Possibly, but Yeah, that one just didn't make sense to me. I just tried putting that in there. Well, yeah, that's basically
That
it.
is the story of how Crunchyroll, an alleged dub company, didn't dub the meme show of the season
I'm glad they
because
didn't.
of sheer incompetence.
Yep, I'm glad they didn't, though. So yeah, final
Yep.
thoughts on the matter. Is this show for everyone? No, it really isn't. You have to be willing to roll with insanity.
If you like Invader Zim, yes.
Yep, which I fucking love Invader Zim, so pretty sure you do too.
Just not in large doses.
Release the monkey! Or release the deer in this case. So, yeah, we already said we don't recommend marathoning it, but we did have a lot of fun with this one, so. The dub definitely did help. Everyone tried their damnedest in here, you could tell. MVPs, Trina, Rue, Donald, and Josh. You know, Yoshi, Maru, whatever the fuck his name is over there. I think all four of them did the best, but there wasn't a bad performance here, I don't think. You could probably argue a couple of the ad voices, but I'm referring to the pro tags primarily. Except the teacher. Her mic fucking sucks.
But that's just a mic issue or a mixing issue or whatever it was.
Yep. But yeah, give it a try. See what you think. If you want something similar, I heard Azumanga is very similar. I have not seen that yet, but we'll probably cover it someday since that's a cult classic and, you know. Or VTuber Legend, which is airing the same season. I remember a time where they were airing these at the same day. Watching the back-to-back is not a good idea. Do not do that. Me and Di did for a few weeks.
Amazon was trying to save us the whole time.
Yeah, let us know if you like this show. If you like the video, I don't know. If you agree with everything we said. Maybe you hate this show. Maybe it was too much drugs. Drugs are bad, okay?
Well, that's just because they hate deers.
Oh yeah, it means you hate deer. And hey, let us know who Best Girl is. I mean, besides the deer, obviously, and Neko. Right, Di?
But that's also a deer.
So is Bashame and Akko. You know what? Lesson learned. We're all deer. In fact, if there's anything to take away, it's that a wild deer lives within us all. But honestly, I just hope we get to hear more of these voice actors going forward and other shit. I'd be down. You know? A lot of them clearly love this shit and had a lot of fun. What?
Probably mostly out of whatever Amazon decides to do that with next.
Yeah, so dub was pretty solid. I actually enjoyed this one. Could recommend. The insanity was definitely a treat. Anything to end this on, Di? Any deer puns?
Sorry. I do not know what I'm talking about.
Oh, how dare you? I was actually disappointed. She said, how dare you at one point. I was like, you could have said, how dare you, Nokotan was right there. That's, again, more of a nitpick. But yeah, that's it. So, thank you to all of our dear viewers for sitting through all this if you made it this far, and really appreciate it. And next time, it's October. You know what that means, Di?
Whores?
No! Deeroween! The next episode I will be trotting out soon. So, I hope your antlers are ready for it. I ran out of deer puns already.
Yeah, and you can fawn all over the comment section.
And if you have any suggestions for something you'd like us to cover, go ahead and leave it down below, and we'll do it at some point. So, till next time, guys. Till then, enjoy a deer cracker or something. Have a good day. Thanks again, guys.